Social media. The hashtag is Easy Friday at Shiksha Arora. Tell us how you're feeling this evening. I've got three gorgeous ladies with me who are really just breaking stereotypes and of course breaking boundaries with this title that our winner has. I'm talking about the winner of Miss Curvy Curve. Now, you've probably heard of pageants before. Just recently we had Miss World Kenya as well. And when you see her, you know, this is the stereotype that has been passed down from generations, where you see a tall, slim model and you think that, you know, these are the standards that have been set for us throughout the years. But these women are out here to make a difference, to show that everybody is beautiful, and I absolutely love what they're doing with the title. I'm talking about Miss Curvy Curve 2020 winner. That's season 2. We've also got the second runners up, and we've got number 6 as well. So Kate, Kapendezo and Evelyn, Ssn2 for joining us this evening.
It's lovely meeting you and being here.
I really am glad that, you know, we've got more pageants like this where, you know, you are redefining the norm. Because back in the day, you know, all the pageants, there would always be this sort of standard, beauty standard when it comes to size, when it comes to height, when it comes to the way you look. And everyone almost looked the same, right? There wasn't this diversity that we've been hoping to see, because these are the things that our kids will grow up watching, and they'll think that I'm only beautiful if I'm tall, slim and slender and I look a certain way, right? I look like your typical pageant girl. But I love that Miss Curvy Curve is changing things. Maybe we can start off with you, Evelyn. First of all, how do you feel being the winner of season 2? And you know, how has your journey been with body positivity, for instance, and of course taking part as well in this particular pageant?
I am so excited. I am so honored. I am so grateful to Miss Donna Obera for creating Miss Curvy Curves Kenya. Like you have said, for example, like for me, I wanted to pursue modeling long term, like even nationwide.
Okay.
I participated in my campus university, and I participated in Miss Culture, Karatina University 2012, and I emerged the winner.
Wow.
But that was the end of the journey for me, because any other pageant out there was looking for a petite lady with smaller hip size, smaller waist, and I have been curvy my entire life, and that was the end for me when it comes to pageant. So when I discovered Miss Curvy Curves Kenya, it was such a thrill.
Yeah. You must have been so excited, because, you know, the truth is that we all have dreams growing up as girls. You know, I want to model, I want to walk the runway, I want to take part in pageants. But then sometimes when you hear of the restrictions in terms of the standards, in terms of the size, weight, you know, height restrictions, it's just very disheartening, right? Because these are dreams that we've had growing up. Now, what about you, Kapendezo? You know, I'm sure you also had dreams as a young woman that you wanted to be a model, and of course you didn't have the platform, but when you heard about this, I'm sure things changed for you.
Yes, I happened to stumble upon Miss Curvy Curve official Instagram page, and I remember stumbling upon it and getting so excited. I was like, okay, these women look like me, because in reality 85% of African women are very curvy.
Absolutely.
So the fact that we are not being represented out there just did not sit right with me. So when I saw Miss Curvy Curve, I was like, okay, this is the platform that I'm going to get into, because I've always wanted to be a model, and if I was going to meet so many other curvy women who are very smart, who are beautiful, and they knew what they wanted, then I thought that was the platform for me. Yes,
absolutely, love it. And what about you, Kate? You know, the experience must have been very exciting, as the other two girls have mentioned, and I feel like, was it a game changer for you? Because, you know, getting to be in a competition where, as Kapendezo has mentioned, the other girls look like you, and you know, you have a little community, and you don't feel like an outcast.
You know, it was one of my most exciting journeys. You enter into a room and all the ladies look like you. It was so exciting. The stories, you relate to one another.
Absolutely.
It was such an awesome experience, something that we've embraced, something that has taught us so much.
Yes.
Being here today, I believe every one of us who was on that platform is a different person.
Amazing.
Because the experience was so amazing, honestly.
Evelyn, tell us about the experience, because before we went on air, we were just having this conversation, and you said that it was a continuous experience of months. It was months long, and you had strenuous, intense hours of training going on. And of course, you mentioned that it went on for a couple of months. So maybe you can take us through the journey throughout these months.
The auditions, we first of all applied at the beginning of the year, and then we were called for auditions in Feb. Then what happened is that now afterwards, like, we started having different kinds of assignments, because they made it clear that they were not looking for just a beautiful face, someone who can just stand there. Like, you had to have a purpose. You had to have a program, projects that you are passionate about, and they were looking for people who are smart, people who are eloquent. And the beautiful thing was that every single lady I met in that competition is smart, is passionate about something, and we all had similar experiences. Everyone wanted to change the world in their own way. It was so fascinating, like how Kate has expressed. Like, even me, when I entered the audition room, like, it was like, my first question in my mind was that, where have you all been my entire life? Like, I was always the biggest in my class, in my peers, and now having like a room full of ladies who are passionate, and it just gave me this tick that people say that big girls have big hearts, and to be honest, like, that's what I experienced.
I love it.
That's what I experienced with these ladies. They were amazing. Like, we've created a sisterhood, and it's just, I every time I think about it, it's just fascinating.
Love it. I love to hear that you have this family now, sisterhood, as you mentioned, because I feel like it's very important to have people around you who relate to you and who are able to understand what you're going through this pageant, of course, that's happened for you, and that's amazing. Kapenda, so tell me about your teenage years growing up. Were there ever moments where you were bullied, or people used to like look at you or look down at you because of the way you looked, because you were different? And how did you ever deal with these emotions, if at all you experienced something of the sort?
Growing up, I've really been body shamed, because my body started growing when I was in high school. You'd hear people making sneer comments like, you're too fat, you really need to go to the gym. Oh, nowadays you're getting too big, maybe you should tone down a bit, or maybe reduce the quantity of food that you're eating. And a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people say that without realizing
that they're actually making condescending comments.
Yes, they do not realize the emotional damage they make. And for us, for me especially, I really had self-esteem issues at that point, until later on I'm like, okay, let me start embracing my body. And then you see platform like Miss Curvy, like-minded women, very smart women, and that is where I gained a lot of self-confidence. I was very confident, yes, but then through interacting with the other women, I just became much more self-aware, embraced my body more, and that is what Miss Curvy is about. Not even for just the women that have participated, but also the other women out there who are watching. Miss Curvy is about embracing your body, no matter the body size. Yes.
I love that message. Very powerful. What about you, Kate? Did you ever have times where you were very low because people were just not giving you the love that you wanted because of the way you looked? And it happens so many times when you're young. People, there's body shaming, there's bullying that goes on. I've also been body shamed because I'm on the smaller side. So when I was in school, I used to be called all sorts of names, and it's not fun because there's two sides of the spectrum, right? And of course, being on either side, you get such comments being made about the way you look, and it's very damaging as a child. Did you ever go through that?
Of course I did. I was actually the biggest in my class. Body-wise. And people make comments knowingly or unknowingly.
Yes.
So yes, these are things that I went through as a kid. And honestly, they damage one's self-esteem, as Kapendezo said. When you're growing, you don't accept yourself as a beautiful woman. You still feel, I need to change something about myself. But look at us now. Yes, we are winning.
Yes.
And I believe and I think that this is something that should be taught since from
a young age.
You know, like being big is not a problem. You do not have a problem.
Not.
You're very normal. Yeah. You're a normal child.
You're healthy.
You're very healthy. You know, this is something that we should teach our children from way the underage.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It should be.
So
I genuinely feel like it should be part of the curriculum as well.
Exactly.
You know, accepting people who look different.
Exactly.
And are not really looking the same as you in school. Because, for instance, each and every one of us looks different.
It's true.
As teenagers, and we're all growing up. We're embracing who we are. We are turning into women, because that's the whole point of adolescence and, of course, puberty, right? Because that's this journey that we're all going on, and everyone has different journeys. Right, so I feel like that's something that we should thoroughly embrace. Evelyn, you know, you decided to take part in this competition. What was your purpose?
My purpose was, I am very passionate about mental health.
Okay.
And it's because I have experienced it. Someone in my family has experienced it.
Okay.
Has experienced depression. I have had the first-hand experience of dealing with someone who has depression and not understanding what it is about. And I learned so much throughout that whole process.
Right.
Even for myself, suffering from anxiety. I learned so many things, and I realized that so many people do not know all this information. Like, it took me researching to find out all this information. And I felt the need to join a platform whereby I can teach self-awareness, self-love. Because when you look at the background of depression, anxiety, it comes from not believing in oneself.
Absolutely.
Lack of self-awareness, lack of balancing your life in terms of... I do a program called the Holistic Wellbeing, which covers the balancing of the body, taking care of your body, taking care of your heart, taking care of your mind, taking care of your soul, the spiritual side, and learning how to balance all the aspects. And it helps you understand the yourself better. And when once you understand who you are, it is very easy for you to believe in yourself and love yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very, very powerful again. You know, Kapendezo, there's one thing that you said earlier on that really struck out, you know, for me. You mentioned that growing up, you've always had these esteem issues. So when did you finally embrace yourself, embrace who you are? When did you have that realization? How old were you?
When I turned 21. I'm currently 22.
Wow.
That was a year ago. I remember I even used to like starve myself because I really wanted to be thinner. But what I didn't realize is a lot of the women in my family just have the same body that I have. So it's genetic. And for people trying to push on how perfect women bodies are supposed to be,
how you should look.
Yes, how you should look like a woman should not have a tummy,
have flat stomach,
or you should just be you know, flat. And most times when they say I realized when they started saying they have accepted plus size women, you started realizing that these people that they were putting out there in the limelight were, yes, plus size women, but very tiny waisted and voluptuous. Women like us who have like normal bodies were not being represented. So like Miss Curvy Curve is embracing all types of plus size bodies, whether you're very voluptuous, whether you're just squared shaped, the people who are just round shaped. So Miss Curvy Curve is about that. And yeah, it's really given us motivation to go for what we want.
Love it. Absolutely great message there. Kate, tell me more about your purpose as well. You know, Evelyn had a very strong purpose that, you know, she really wanted to put out there. Her mission was to bring awareness when it comes to mental health. What was your mission when you took part in Miss Curvy Curves?
One of my greatest mission was love you. Love who you are, love how you look, love the whole you. You know, we say that normally, like you ask, do you love yourself? You're like, yeah, I do love my, but deep down in yourself, in you know that you do not. So that, as Eve said, learning. It's a learning curve. Learning how to love yourself. Mostly that was my aim for joining this competition. Love yourself. It doesn't matter how you look. It doesn't matter how big you are, how small you are. Just love you. Yes.
Great. I really like that, you're also positive. I feel like I'm just learning a lot here. It's just such a good feeling to be with women who are so positive and strong-minded and who know what they want, confident as well. Lovely. So tell me, so in your pageant, did you have a question answer round? What was the question that you were asked? I'm so curious.
I was asked about one of my outfits.
Okay.
We were given Miss Curvy Curves t-shirt, and then we were supposed to convert it to our own design. And I was asked what was my inspiration for my design.
Oh, what was that? What was your inspiration?
It's about Africa, Kenya. I'm proud to be Kenyan.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
A strong message indeed.
Yeah.
So, Kapendezo, when we see movies or when we see shows, especially in the West, right, we always see the perfect woman being portrayed to be a specific size. And I feel like now is when we're finally seeing some sort of representation. As you said, plus size women are being accepted in society. We see runways with plus size models specifically just, walking the runway and having an entire fashion show just to do with plus size women. So I feel like we are moving in the right direction. It's a movement, it's a revolution, and I feel like there's a lot to be done, but we're getting there, and it's nice to see that these things are finally happening. What would be, your hope for plus size curvy women in future moving forward?
It's for them to be accepted fully, because I feel like right now, even when you look like at the industry, I feel like a lot of them accept plus size models just because there's that uproar in accepting plus size models.
Interesting.
Because now it's trendy.
Yes.
It's not because they have actually accepted us, but because it's trendy. But then I really see us moving towards them, like actually really accepting us. And yeah, the future looks very bright for us.
Happy to hear that, we are being positive at the end of the day. And, I feel like, as I said, the future is looking very bright, as you said as well. But also, I see a day where everybody is going to be so confident in their skin, they won't ever have to shed a tear or go to the gym and work so hard and starve themselves, as she said, just to look a specific size. So that's amazing. Kate, tell me about your background growing up. Tell me about your parents, with your family as well. Were they very supportive of your decision to take part? Were they encouraging you?
Oh my, I have one supportive family.
Amazing.
My dad, when this one was announced, he told everyone at work, vote for my daughter. Yeah. So my family has been very supportive, 100% in this. They accepted me joining the pageant. It's been an amazing journey. They always ask, hey, how far has it gone?
Yeah, what's happening now?
I have had the most amazing experience when it came to them. They've been, everyone at home, I love you guys. They've been amazing. They've been amazing.
Very nice to hear that. Growing up, it's very important that you have a supportive family and a good support system, a strong support system, because these are the kind of messages that our parents or our older siblings or just family in general, they pass down to us. Messages of support or, to encourage us that no matter how you look, you're still beautiful and you're still amazing and you're still confident. Do you think in Kenya, especially in the African culture, there is always this thing of, you need to look a certain way. You need to be a certain size to be beautiful. So what would you say about that, Evelyn? Like, do you think that our parents also have a role to play in our confidence growing up?
Yes, actually, when you are growing up, when you are born, you are born with a fully functioning subconscious system, and your subconscious it captures everything like how your parents behave, how they speak. And that's why you'll find that if you're using abusive language, your kids are going to accept. That's what they are going to take in. And that influences your experience, influences how you feel about yourself, your belief system, your value system. And that means that your parents are your first teachers in this world. So if they don't instill confidence in you, if they don't raise your they don't encourage self-esteem, high self-esteem, then no, that's a big problem. So I would urge our parents to be your first, the first fan of your child, be your child's first support system, and let them be your friend. Like, you're the first person they go to whenever they need something. And I am grateful to my family, my mom. I am so grateful to my mom. My mom has stepped in like big time when it came to this pageant. I even fell sick during the pageant, and she encouraged me. My dad will send me messages of encouragement and told me that you have come so far, you've worked so hard, don't give up. And I'm so grateful for that support, because I wouldn't have been here if it wasn't for them.
How sweet, how sweet indeed. Kapendezo, you know, now we live in a digital age where everything is online. We post our photos online, and sometimes we hope that people will love us online as much as they love us in person. And that's the reality of this world that we live in right now, that likes and comments have become so important regardless of what field you're in. It's so important to build your brand online as much as it's important to build it in the outside world. Kapendezo, have you ever experienced, you know, trolling or hate online, and how have you dealt with that?
Not really. I think I've only gotten hate comments, I think, twice.
Okay.
And I'm not going to lie, but at some point I felt bad about it. At some point I even got off Instagram. I'm a brand influencer. At some point I got off Instagram because I was like, okay, I don't know what this is. This is not the attention that I want. I feel so bad. And then there's this thing how people usually over-sexualize big bodies. So for me, it felt some type of way. So I stayed outside social media for a while, and I had conversations, especially with my dad. I usually have conversations with my dad, and we just talk about things, and he told me people's opinions does not matter as long as you know you're doing the right thing and you're embracing yourself and you really love your body. And I just gained confidence slowly by slowly. I'm not there yet as a full confidence, but as the time goes by, I am building on myself and embracing myself.
Amazing, amazing. Kate, maybe, you know, if you have any advice for a young girl, what would you tell young Kate at 15 years old? What message would you have for 15-year-old Kate?
Get out there. And do you. Love you. Be confident about who you are. Just go out there. Yes, because most of the 15-year-olds are like, should I try this? Should I try? If you feel like something is right and it impacts you positively, just go out there and do it. Just do it.
Amazing.
Yes, I would, yes.
Very, very strong message indeed. Evelyn, what message would you like to give a young girl who is struggling with body positivity issues? You know, she's struggling with accepting who she is and embracing her body as a teenager. What would you say to her?
I will say to you that it starts in your mind, that the love that you feel for yourself is what you portray out there, and that's how everyone will treat you. So if you do not love yourself, that is how everyone else will treat you. You command respect by respecting yourself first.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. You command respect by respecting yourself first. I'm going to put that on Instagram today. That's my quote for the day. All right. So ladies, I mean, I have to say, I'm so inspired by, you know, your words of wisdom and like your perspective on life. It's just so beautiful to see. Do you think that you're so wise because you faced adversity from a young age growing up? Yeah, your experiences have just molded you into these beautiful ladies today.
It's a learning curve.
Yeah, it is a learning curve, and I'm sure that you still want to grow a lot more. You still have a lot more to achieve in terms of your aspirations in life. What are some of your goals? What would you like to gain out of this journey that you're on in the next few years, Kapendezo?
I really want to inspire other curvy women to take up space. Curves and all, just take up space. Be very confident in yourself, because you being curvy does not mean you're not smart.
Yes.
You being curvy does not mean you're not beautiful. Do not listen to what people have to say about what an ideal body looks like. As long as you're keeping healthy, then all that matters is that you feel very beautiful in your skin and embrace yourself more.
Amazing, powerful. Again, so powerful. Wow. All I'm feeling is the power in this studio right now. It's really nice to know that, you women have come such a long way, and you've embraced yourselves 100%, and you're able to just speak so confidently and really just pass on these beautiful messages of encouragement to the young girls out here. And I feel like, do you think back in the day we didn't have anyone to tell us these things?
Yeah.
Right?
Of course.
Yeah, because come to think of it, when you were growing up, when we would watch TV, as I said earlier on, we weren't being represented enough. You weren't being represented enough as curvy women. So do you think that this is something that was lacking in the past, Kate?
Of course. As you say, this is something that should be introduced in our curriculum.
Yeah.
I'm sure not everyone is aware that being big is okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure
some people believe it's a punishment.
Yes.
Yeah.
So many people are not aware of that. So
Absolutely.
it's upon us who've had the courage to go out there to teach these young girls that being plus size is okay.
Yeah.
Being plus size is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's upon us to teach them. Whatever platform that we get, let's teach them.
Okay, and as we wind up quickly, your last words, Evelyn.
My last words is that we are coming for you, plus size women.
Yeah.
Curvy girls. We have amazing projects lined up 2022. Just look out for us. We are not stopping just because the pageant is over. That mean that we are not we're not planning something big. We have projects lined up for you, and Miss Curvy Curves is not here to play. We want to take this international. It's gonna be the next biggest pageant in the world.
Oh, love it. Thank you so much, ladies. It has been an absolute pleasure hosting you tonight. I hope that, whatever message that you've tried to relay out here today is heard, and people are really able to get inspired by the things that you've talked about and you've mentioned, and put it into practice, because it's very important that you listen to people who are going through the same thing as you and are relatable, and of course just get inspired by their words and by them. So thank you. You have really inspired me to just embrace myself and who I am and love myself some more, and I really enjoyed having this conversation with you. Asante sana for being here. So yes, that was the end of this interview right here on Easy Friday. I hope you had an amazing time just listening to these wonderful ladies talk about themselves and their journeys in their careers, as well as this pageant, which is Miss Curvy Curves. So yes, do talk to them on Instagram as well. I'm sure they'll be able to give you some more advice. That's Kate Kangochi.
Kapendezo Rua.
Kapendezo Rua.
Eve Njeri.
All right. And Curvy Curve Kenya,
Evelyn
right?
Njeri.
Yes.
That's the Instagram
Curvy
page.
Curve.
Yes. Do go check them out. If you have any questions, if you want to say something to them, I'm sure they'll be all ears for you. And